Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe.
Yeah, maybe you can tell us how it was to grow up with Sadhu Maharaj when you were a small child.
Yeah, cool. Yes.
At that time, we were all living in Munger. Munger is in the state of Bihar. It's another state. Close to, I will say, Mayapur?
Yeah, almost.
Or more Mayapur.
More Mayapur.
Yeah, near Bengal. So was the question that how, I mean, living in Munger that time, my grandfather passed away in 1974, and after that I was sent to a boarding school. I was very close to my grandfather. I spent more time with him than I guess with Sadhu Maharaj when I was a kid. And after I was sent to boarding school was in 1975 or 76, I don't remember. And I was there, and in 80s, I remember Sadhu Maharaj had moved to Vrindavan. We were going back and forth, but he moved there, and because all the kids were studying in the school nearby, Vrindavan, so it was easier for us to come back in the holidays to Vrindavan.
Where was your boarding school?
It was in Gwalior.
Ah, okay.
I started in Mussoorie. It was a convent school, and then it did till 6th grade, and then I went to a Sindhya school, which is located in Gwalior. So it was like 3-4 hours journey by train to come to Vrindavan. And so when I came, I met Radha Govindas Babaji there at the temple.
How old you were then?
I must be like 13, 14 at that time.
And he was living there?
Yeah, he was living there. He was living in the room where my mother is living.
Yes.
That pink room.
48.
43.
So, and all the rooms were open, where, what's his name, Gopinath is staying, and all the rooms were open before. And where we have prasadam now, that used to be like a big hall, we used to just have prasad there also. With my grandfather there, yeah. Because it was summertime, I remember that hall used to be very cool. Because most of the time we were spending in the summertime, the holidays. So I remember Das Babaji living in that room, and sometimes in the middle of the night or in the morning, he used to have darshan. And I didn't know what was going on. My Sadhu Maharaj and my mother was sitting there in his room, and we were getting up in the morning and seeing that, so my mother used to say that he's having a darshan or something like that.
Some revelation, and you didn't know what it was really.
I didn't know what it was.
So some devotees came from outside? Or?
Yeah, I mean,
Disciples?
disciple, what's his name? There was Keshav, there was many devotees. They were all used to wear white. And they used to also live at the temple, and they did very good kirtan. I remember that. that time Balram Baba was also staying there in
Und
Bulgaria.
Baba ist damals
And what's his name? The Pujari. What's his name? The guy who just comes and does puja?
I don't know that time.
Radamon das.
No, from outside.
Yeah. Ram Sadhu.
Ram.
Yeah, the
Temple
our
priest.
priest.
He used to live there also. He was young at that time and he was studying and he was staying there. And he was a manager there or a priest doing some seva or other one, I don't remember. But he was there also. Now he became a priest.
Is
So,
the big one? Is it
yeah, tall one.
He comes always with the same.
who always comes for all the pujas?
And making the marriages.
Marriages also. Raj, what was your first impression when you saw Radha Govinda Das
Was war dein erster Eindruck, als du Radha Govinda Das gesehen?
But I was too young that time. You know, I didn't know much about it. So, and also I got Diksha from him.
But what memories you have from Radha
So-
Govinda?
Because I had a short period in the summer vacation, I used to spend time with him. We used to do a lot of kirtan, and also I remember Sadhu Maharaj was very close to him. Also my mother, they were all the time in his room talking, and then one day I was asked to get
Shaved.
Und dann haben sie mich eines Tages gefragt.
Diksha, right? So they put that cloth over me and Gurudev gave me some mantra and also I got that, yeah, Kanthi Mala and the big Japa Mala. And I remember he was saying that if you are in a school, you don't have to do Japa Mala, you can do in your fingers also. So that way, you know, you don't feel embarrassed or someone asking you. Or you don't have to put chandan, you can just take the water and also go do tilak. Right?
How old have you been then? 15.
15, yeah, 15, 15. And we used to do a lot of parikrama there in the temple. Kirtan, like, you know, with other devotees there, God brothers. And what else? This is what I remember right now.
Did he give you some personal instruction after that?
I honestly
Ganz ehrlich.
don't remember.
I mean, you're too young, 13, 14 years.
I didn't know much that time.
Ich hatte damals eigentlich fast gar nicht so gut.
And Raja, how was his voice? How does he speak? Slowly, loud?
No, very slow, very calm. Very, yes. I think it was month of May. I think that summer he passed away. I was there that time. Radha Mohan Baba, they all brought his body right in front of the samadhi, and then they took it into to cremation. So, that's what I remember.
And how was it for you? I mean, this Radha Mohan was there, or what meaning Radha Mohan has for you personally?
Was bedeutet?
In your life, at that time, and now?
Er war ja auch immer da.
Radha Mohan, I think because of him I am in US. That's why, because I was there after my high school, I came to Vrindavan, and 6 months I stayed there. And that time they had just opened a guest house just for Indian people. The buses used to come, and Ram Sarup was in charge, taking of, and I was there trying to run that place. And I used to sit in front of those 3 steps in front of Radhamohan, and I used to cry because I was so confused what I want to do in my life. So one day, one professor came to the temple at the Aarti time, and he was American. I remember he was from Florida, some university of Miami. And I was talking to him after the Aarti. We were sitting on those same steps and just talking what he's doing. That time, when the foreigners used to come to Vrindavan, there were hardly any foreigners coming, and especially in the summertime.
Krishna from Vienna.
Oh yeah, he was also coming, taking a lot of pictures. He is from Austria, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was supposed to meet someone last year.
Yamuna, his disciple. Not his godbrother.
No. It's
his disciple, yeah.
So I couldn't meet him. Yeah, I remember him taking a lot of pictures.
And his wife,
Radhika, yeah.
Radhika.
But then the professor came.
Yeah, so professor came and I was talking, and then I was telling him I just finished my high school and guide me what should I do. Because Sadhu Maharaja wanted me to go to medical school, as every parent wants their kids to go either for engineering or doctor in India. And for me it was, I didn't like blood. I took science in high school and I used to dissect frogs, and I was like, oh my god, this is not good. So and I used to see there's already too many doctors. Why they want? I want to be a doctor. And I was doing some medical coaching there, trying to prepare for a medical exam. So and I used to see in every one shop, the next shop, all doctors sitting there, and have those flies that killing the flies. I was like, that's what I want to do in my life. Their clinics are empty. They spend 10, 15 years to become a doctor. And they're sitting and killing mosquitoes and flies. I was young that time. And I didn't want it, I wanted to go for my business. I wanted to study business. So this professor guided me that you should go and apply to some library, you should look into books, US colleges and all that. So anyway, and Sadhu Maharaj that time was looking for apartment in Delhi for some for all my brother, sister, they were studying also in Delhi, and I was in Vrindavan that time. So he met another professor there, and he was a professor of marketing. And then he suggested Sadhu Maharaj. Sadhu Maharaj asked about me, how can I get admission? So he guided me to get admitted in US, and I left US. It all happened so fast. So this is mercy of Radha Mohan. I'm in US. So
So you did not have any family or relationship in US when you went there?
My mother's brother was there, but they were living, and I was admitted in Ohio, which is another state close to Michigan.
Ich kam zuerst nach Ohio, das ist in der Nähe von Michigan.
It's Midwest. So that's where I went. And that was 1986. Were you born Canada?
No. My brother was born in Balaram was born in 86. I was the first time I came to 89.
So Vrindavan that time was totally different. What you see Vrindavan now?
Damals war Vrindavan.
It was.
Was du jetzt siehst, das ist nicht.
Vrindavan was Vrindavan then.
Dann war Vrindavan wirklich Vrindavan.
There was Yamuna. I've taken many times bath in the Yamuna. I remember I used to, by mistake, get touch with turtles, big turtles. And it used to get flooded with Yamuna River over there. Or like you can get the water all the way up to the top. Now it's all dry. So near Munger Mandir, there was only few temples, their main temples. It was all empty. There was no much construction there, and the roads were, there was tum-tum with the horse. Only rickshaws.
Oxes.
Huh?
Ox carts.
Yeah, like horse carts. If you want to go to Mathura, you have to go on that horse cart. It was fun.
There were forests?
Yeah, all green.
All forests.
Green. I remember ISKCON temple was built when I was growing up, and people were scared to go to ISKCON temple that time because all jungle there. You know, there was all forest.
Full forest. Yeah.
And also I remember my grandfather's sister, she took me to ISKCON temple that time in 1972. I was very young. And that summer, again, we came to Vrindavan. That time my grandfather was alive also. So I remember going seeing Prabhupada. He was not well that time. And he was, that time there was a hut type, you know, they were making, so he was there, living there before.
And you met the Western devotees there?
Where? There was Western devotees there. Yeah. They were, the ISKCON temple was coming up slowly, you know. And also Pagal Baba temple, you know, that was also built. I remember I used to ride a bicycle and go to Pagal Baba and come back. Because roads were empty that time.
What you did at Pagal Baba place?
Just used to go, because that was the tallest temple that time they were building. 7-story temple that time.
The excitement for kids.
Yeah. All marble. And the road used to be empty, all green everywhere. I remember when you enter Vrindavan from the old road, when you're coming through ISKCON, that road, as soon as you enter, you can smell the Braj Bhumi, you know, the smell of Vrindavan. It's amazing. Because it was all sand, the soil was so soft. Parikrama, when you're doing, you can walk on the soft soil, you know. Now it's all bricks there, which is, I don't know why they did that.
For the cars only.
Und Autos waren da, es ist so laut.
And also there's many more flowers, right, in the air. Many more flowers from the forest, which are also making the scent.
Da
Die sind auch an.
Blumen
Yeah.
Dankbar.
A lot of peacocks.
und auch so viele Pfauen.
And even Munger Mandir, we used to, every morning,
Und in
the
Munger
peacocks used to come in the front of the temple, you know, where the courtyard is. Peacocks, parrots.
Monkeys?
So, monkeys was always there in Brazil.
Where have they been always so naughty?
Yeah, monkeys were really, yeah.
Not so frech, ja.
Did you ever make a trip to Radhakund?
Hast du auch schon mal
When you were there? Occasionally?
Radhakund, I don't remember going for Barsane.
Ich war in Waschana, aber Radhakund weiß ich nicht.
Because Radhakund also looked very different.
Yeah, the village.
Out of the pond in Shubunu. 30 years ago I saw pictures.
You said you met the A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Yes, I want to.
Did he have a sharing? How was the experience? He
I was too young. 72, I remember.
He's sitting and talking, or
Yeah,
singing?
my grandmother took me there. Sitting there,
Wir sind einfach hingegangen.
was not well at that time, so she just went to see him, and I went with her.
Hat sie
Oh my God.
How old have you been there, Raj? 5, 6?
4.
Ich war erst
No,
4.
no. 72. You were born when 68, so 4.
Yeah, 86 years old.
7 years old.
But what was your
I remember this because, you know, they always talk about ISKCON temple.
Weil sie über ISKCON
And that time I remember vaguely like I was there with my grandmother and some old man was not well here. Now I think about it,
Der war nicht da. Der war nicht so gut drauf, also ist nicht so gut gegangen. Und den mussten wir sehen. So Radha Govinda Das Babaji was still alive and you went with your grandmother to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, right? That time. Oh, he was already gone.
Radha Govindas Babaji, I met him in 1980.
you left 8?
He left before he arrived.
Later, much later.
When did
That
you
was
meet?
Bhakti.
When did you meet? Sorry, I didn't keep Radha Govinda's Babaji.
In 80s. I was studying and then that summer I came to Vrindavan and he was there. He used to live, you know where
Weißt du, wo der gelebt hat?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the temple?
इमली था
Who? Radha Govinda Das Babaji.
Yeah, उसके बगल में कोई जगह है उधर.
अच्छा पता नहीं.
He was there, then he came to Munger Mandir.
He was living there next to Radha Govinda Das, Radha Govinda Mandir. A little bit further on the left, no?
Yeah, that I don't remember, but yeah, I think Sadhu Maharaj asked him to just stay here.
Then he became sick, and it was a little bit more. His health went down.
Yeah. He was very old, over 100.
Ja, er war sehr alt, er war schon über 100. Das ist ziemlich gut.
And he hardly ate anything, I remember.
Ich kann mich erinnern, er hat so selten gegessen.
And what was your experience or your relationship or your of the deities, Radhamohan? Radhamohan was there, and there was also art going on. And
Aarti, same. Everything was same.
for you personally, was like
I never entered the temple inside. You know,
Nie in den Tempel.
it's a big thing. I remember we used to sit on the there's a side door when you go where the
Yes.
pujari
Yeah.
goes. I remember sometimes I used to try to go inside, but not allowed to go inside. Even the pujaris, they have to, you cannot even touch that.
Die Pujaris, die darfst du nicht mal angreifen.
Because once they took a shower and went to do seva of Radha Mohan, very strict that time, very strict.
Super strikt.
Even Prasadam Hall, like people used to, Prasadam Hall was where the kitchen is now.
Ja, wir hatten damals Prasadam genommen, wo jetzt die Küche ist.
Because prasad used to come from inside and was served. And where Mahababa room is, that used to be the main kitchen. And the food used to be cooked from there, and you know where the gate is like this?
The bridge over the...
Yeah, the bridge. Right. So the kitchen used to be in Mahababa area, and there was a gallery, and the food used to go from that bridge and go straight to the temple.
Nobody can see, huh?
Nobody can see. From there, all the prasad used to also come, and the prasadam hall. Right? Priest you cannot touch.
That's right.
Now things have changed. I remember when they're serving prasad, you have to be like from the top. You can't even touch. Like you go to Radha Raman temple, they give you prasad like this. You cannot touch. Yeah, you can't touch them. I think for the even the priests have to go to the bathroom or something, they have to take a shower. Yeah, then they can change clothes.
Like Shuddhata.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is also in the
Still.
ISKCON temples, they also have the such a high standard.
And also in all Vrindavan, all temple is this very strict. But this is two sides. One is rag and one vidhi. So when we doing to seva, meaning we have to go vidhi. And when rag is no need to on vidhi, because that is another relation, another mood, another bhav. But when you officially doing puja seva, that time we have to follow to our vidhi. But till if you compare to South India and North India much more easier. But if you go to South, it's too crazy. Too crazy. Because one time I remember I was in Munger Mandir, one Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaja disciple, he's from South India, he bringing many devotees from South, and he stay in Munger Mandir because he loves Sadhu Maharaj very much. That's why he want to stay in Munger Mandir with his friend and going to darshan. One guy, he's one Brahmin, he also pujari of one temple. Then he asking me, oh my dear, what you are doing, you are really so easy to Braja to become pujari. But in our temple or our associate, but okay, we are not too much boring, we following our rule. But till Braja mood is much easier. I said that is the Braja mood. That's why the Braja Dham. Why is Braja Dham totally another level to all this Dham? Because of Ragamarga is there. So, like this. So Raja Bhaiya is telling this is right. Because Shuddhata have to take snan and this there. Even also I was when a pujari, mother of Raja Bhaiya, she is also many times Pujari ji, everything okay, take snan and good cloth, otherwise I can give you cloth, but don't go to this outside cloth. Because of when Pujari seva has to be Shuddhata.
That's why I have noticed when there is a Abhishek going on, Sadhu Maharaj is very almost always there.
Big eyes.
Always big eyes. Yeah, like to make sure you wash your hand and not to do this.
He showers. Take a shower in the morning.
You said you have been in the summer in Vrindavan when Radha Govinda's Babaji left his body.
Yeah, it was month of May.
So there was a big festival. Many devotees came. How was this?
many devotees, a lot of sadhus came. And I remember one time they had all sadhus, they had prasad, what do you call it, langar.
Langar, like you, Bandara. It's Sikh Punjab telling Langar, and Vrindavan telling Bhandara.
Yes.
A feast.
Feast.
So there was a lot of sadhus came, and I remember washing all the sadhus and wiping down with a towel or some kind of a cloth before they enter the prasadam hall.
That is actually
and that was also I got a lot of blessing from the sadhu before going to US.
Das war noch bevor ich nach Amerika ging.
So when you do seva like this, I think you get blessings from sadhu.
So einen Seva macht man so viele Blessings von den Sadhus.
But I feel there's something there with Radhamohan. I feel it. And after coming back, when I go to Vrindavan, I stay in Munger Mandir. I hardly go out anywhere. Even my sister, she asked me, "What are you doing in Vrindavan? You come from US. What are you doing there? Come from Delhi. Stay with us." I said, "No, I like it here."
Ich bleibe hier in Vrindavan.
They are surprised for me to, this guy lives in US and what he's doing in Vrindavan. A lot of people they ask, "What are you doing there?" Because they are more. I feel that India start changing and following the Western culture more. So for us, you have seen the Western culture, and me living also for so long, it's nothing. For them, it's new.
So what did you think when the Westerners start coming and your father, from father you become guru? Means I imagine my father become guru and that everyone who's done about it must be he's your father.
96 Sadhu Maharaj came to America. And after that, he went to Florida, and then from Florida he had planned with Pramadati Maharaj to go to South America. So I never heard from him for almost 9 or 10 months. And now at that time there was a lot of problems were happening in Colombia. And I remember Sharnagati, that time Sharnagati, American Sharnagati, she used to be in charge of the Miami temple of Pramadati Maharaj. And I was in touch with her. But when Sadhu Maharaj went to South America, I came to know from some disciple of Pramadati Maharaj that he is taking a sannyas. Oh, no, I'm not. I never heard from him and I was so worried. Because I used to watch news and that there's a lot of things happening in Colombia and I was worried about Sadhu Maharaj. And one day I received an email. There was no iPhone that time. There was only Messenger, I remember. And the email, that's it. So I got an email from one of Pramadati Maharaj's disciples that your father, Sadhu, is Sadhu Maharaj.
So, dann bin ich gestanden, dass mein Vater ist der Sadhu Maharaj.
And he's fine, and he said when he comes to Miami, he will call
Und
you.
wenn zurück ist in Miami, wird er
So I said, can you please send me his phone number, because I was like very tough to get in touch with him. He was always traveling somewhere and he took sannyas. I didn't know about all this.
Ich möchte Sie gerne mehr
So for me it was like, oh my God, now what?
So, für mich war das
How am I to tell my mother?
Was wie soll ich jetzt meiner Mutter erklären?
But he was asking Mother.
Huh?
He was asking Mother Chidi before he took sannyas.
It was sudden sannyas.
No, but he was asking her and she did not take it serious, and then she said yes, yes.
Like, you know, like you can say, hey, I'm going to divorce you. You know, that doesn't mean that, you know,
He was not taking it serious.
just joking, you know, maybe just happened. I don't know about that. But for me it was, oh my God, sannyas. For me in my head, sannyas was like leaving the family, leaving everything, and just, you know, that's what I saw.
Which it actually means.
That's what it means.
I think what happened that time.
Yeah, sannyas means to just leave everything.
Stop any contact.
Contact with the family,
When
contact
you're the
with
eldest
everything.
one, then it's your responsibility to take care of family.
Yeah, being as the elder son, then I was like, little worried.
Jetzt muss ich die Familie übernehmen.
So,
Hat die ganze Verantwortung von der Familie.
so I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to inform my mother that Ananta Prasad Singh became Sadhu Maharaj?
Wie soll ich jetzt meiner Mama erklären, dass
So,
Sadhu Maharaj.
I called Prashant.
So, ich habe meinen kleinen Bruder angerufen, Prashant.
I told Prashant that Papa has taken sannyas,
Papa hat jetzt Sannyas genommen.
and I don't know how to tell
Wie soll ich es Mama erzählen?
my mother. So anyway, maybe he must have said the way, I don't know, but
Ja,
for my mother it was a big thing.
Dann, wie ich es meiner Mutter erzählt habe, sie war
And
das war eine große Sache.
So this was 96. So when I went, he came to Miami.
So dann ist er irgendwann nach Miami.
So I sent my wife, and my daughter Anisha was born that year.
So ich habe meine
So I sent
meine Frau dorthin geschickt.
her to get blessing from Sadhu Maharaj, but I couldn't go because I had to work.
Weil ich musste leider arbeiten.
But we talked on the phone
Ja,
to Sadhu Maharaj.
mit Sadhu Maharaj.
And then he,
What you said to him, you remember? First days.
What are you thinking?
What's happening?
I used, being as an elder son,
Als der älteste Sohn.
I was not that close to him, you know, like in India that time fathers are like
So nah mit ihm.
strict.
You were born in school and abroad.
Yeah, and I was not open, like I can talk to him.
Wir hatten nicht so eine enge Beziehung.
Like father, he was like a father figure to me.
War eine Vaterfigur.
Yeah. You know how it is.
This is every home.
Still now I cannot talk to him. I cannot open
Ich
up
immer noch, dass ich mich nicht öffnen kann ihm gegenüber.
because that's how I grew up.
So bin ich auch aufgewachsen. Das sage ich so.
And I remember when we were living in Munger growing up,
Und ich kann mich gut
I used to ask my Preeti or Niti, go and ask Papa, you can go to watch movie. Because I couldn't go, I didn't have guts to go and ask my
Ich habe
father.
nicht den Mumm oder den Vater gefallen.
Because girls are more soft, you know, to their fathers. So.
Die Frauen sind dann mehr sanft gegen das Beste. Schau mal.
So this is what happened, and 2001,
Und das ist
I brought, when I went to India, I saw my mother being alone, and she was suffering for arthritis. Then I said, I should take her to US.
Und dann
That's the time I brought her to US, and she was staying with us for quite some time, till a few years. She wanted to go back to Vrindavan. She wanted to stay there. And I tell her, you should come back to US. She said, no, I want to stay here.
Jetzt sage ich ihr, komm zurück nach Amerika. Sie sagt, nein, ich bleibe.
I guess she wants to stay there. I mean, also, no matter what, she feels Sadhu Maharaj is the husband, you know.
Sie fühlt ihn immer noch als ihren Mann. Sie fühlt sich unbedingt immer noch als ihren Mann.
But it was very tough for her.
Es war so schwer.
It's not easy for a woman, you know. Especially in this age, they should be together.
In diesem Alter
You
soll
know,
sie zusammen sein.
like in sharing things, but that's what Sadhu Maharaj wanted, I guess.
Aber das ist, was Sadhu Maharaj
He wanted.
wollte.
I saw him and he was very close to Radha Das Babaji, and he was always chanting, sitting in the temple. Also Balaram Baba, Radha Mohan Baba. There was another person, I don't remember his name, he was also Guru Bhai. Keshav Baba, and there was another one. He used to play very good. Huh?
Krishna Das. Not the from Austria, but he was living.
Yeah, short guy.
Short guy.
Yeah. He plays very good mridanga.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Musician.
And Radha Mohan Das Babaji was very good. He used to do very good kirtan. Any questions?
What do you remember about your grandmother?
Grandmother?
Which one? Step grandmother.
I see my father, first mother, he was young when she passed away. So I don't know. I was very close to my grandmother.
Step grandmother.
Step grandmother. Like I said, I was very close to my grandfather. I was always with him when I was growing up, and also close to my grandmother. I remember one time she came to my boarding school, and I was so attached with her, more than my mother, because I spent more time with them growing up. And the principal got so upset because she always used to visit us in school. We're not supposed to get parents visit that often, you know, because you're in school, boarding school, that's what they send you to study. Away from the parents. And she used to come all the time, and I used to wanted to go with her, start crying and all that. She lived there for a month and a half, 2 months, because her sister used to live also there, local, in Missouri.
So she came to see you.
So she came to see me, and she stayed there with her sister. And principal wrote a letter to my father that your mother is spoiling your son. I came to know when I went back home. One of the managers, you know, Sadhu Maharaj, that time we were living in Munger, had a manager. He showed me the letter.
What was written?
about that your mother.
Stepmother spoiling.
Yeah.
That's the job. That's the job of the grandmother.
Yeah, that's the job of the grandmother. So, dann benötigt, dass die Großmutter ihn verzieht.
They were also both chanting very much.
Aber sie hat auch so viel gechantet, deine Großeltern. Yeah.
Great devotees.
No, but this is grandparents of him, not of Gurudev.
So the parents of Sadhu Maharaj.
Parents of... okay.
So the stepmother of Gurudev and father.
That's a great grandparent. You did not meet a great grandparent.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
And were your parents kind of preaching to you, like showing how to chant and to
So
offer?
we were living in Munger that time when growing up. And we have a temple there next to our home. I don't know if Krishna.
Yeah.
Shiva Mandir.
Shiva Mahaprabhu.
Shiva Mandir and there's Mahaprabhu Mandir. So there was always, every year I remember there was a program going on there. Somebody always coming from Vrindavan. There was one Baba was Garagi Baba. I remember he used to come and used to do kirtan and used to go around the town singing, chanting, so I remember going with him also. A lot of people used to go and they used to love him because he used to jump and also some Goswami, what's his name, from Radharaman?
Padmanath.
No, his father.
His father.
Can't remember his name.
Padmanath father of Padmanath Goswami.
He was coming to Munger and giving Bhagavad Katha. And I was very close to him. Like he was like my grandfather. Because he used to always bring me fully
The Radharaman temple give not say small.
In the small box.
Yes. So you put your finger and that's my favorite. So that's why I was so close to him, and I used to always bring me those sweets. And he used to come there and do Bhagavad for weeks. Even in our house, in the temple. And we also used to have a Ras Leela over there. A group of Rasa Leela, people used to come from Vrindavan. Performance, yes.
Actually, in India, that time is all king family. Some king are very materialist, and some king are totally spiritual. So one of also king family of them, I see in Munger, is around so many temples. All of his family, Shiva temple, Durga temple, Jagannath temple, and Mahaprabhu temple. Wow, so that's I also feel. I also telling to Maharaj, how your family is attached to this spiritually around all temple.
Yes, you were also. I want also ask, celebrating these festivals like Janmastami, Radhastami, all
Yes.
Also Munger, yeah.
Also Munger.
Till now, going on. Till now, lot of
Till
seva.
now there is a program going there.
So many seva going on.
At that time,
Jhulan, I remember Jhulan used to, and there was like all the singers, they used to come to sing program there every evening. I remember my grandfather used to go in which when they bring the deities out, which month?
No. Which date? Meaning?
No, you mean Sharad Purnima.
Sharad Purnima, yes.
Kartik starts.
Yes.
Oh, Kartik.
This is the beginning of Kartik.
No, before like Holi.
Like a Chachar. Chachar.
So there is in Munger also, right across from this temple is called Love Temple. The name Prem Mandir.
Es gibt einen Tempel, der heißt Prem.
Of Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
Prem Mandir. Right across from there is a garden where they used to take all the deities out and they used to have program there outside.
That is the Chachar, meaning before Holi Purnima.
Holy Purnima,
Yeah.
probably.
क्या कुछ कहते हैं उसको?
उसको चाचर ही बोलते हैं.
And then the deities used to come to the house, our house where we used to live. And we used to have a lot of people gathered there, even people coming from yoga ashrams. What's his name? Shivananda. He used to come there, his disciple used to come there. So we used to all have a program in that hall with all the deities. So still that thing is still happening there.
That's why the Maharaj.
My cousin is the Sharad Dekdar.
Yes. That's why the Maharaj very eager and very love to have this Jamdaha temple, because before his Jamdaha also belongs this family. But it was not good seva, not. And when Maharaj one time see my grandmother plays and Radhapatit Pavan, so beautiful deities. Then Maharaj starting to crying, and deities also become dream. Please you take this. Then after you see how is Maharaj pushing to all devotees.
You went to Jamdaha?
Yeah. Four times.
No, first time you went.
Yes.
When you went, what was your experience?
It was you also there, no? No, that time Gopinath and I. And Prasant Bhai, Maharaj, Ranima, all big group. We going to like almost 13 people, and in one wagon in train, Bindamasi, she's cooking a lot, and Mami, they cooking a lot. Maharaj sitting up of one seat, and we do train inside a lot kirtan because of Tufan Express, take like 2 days. To go there. Doesn't matter, 2 days. We don't care. Maharaj says start kirtan. Then another bogies, people are coming to join us. We start like a good sangha going on training side. Then we went Jamdaha. Then when we went night time in this railway station, then all people coming night time. There is thief have. They have a stick and lot of big torch light. They coming to pick up us. Then we going at night time. Then we sleep, and morning Maharaj wake up and say, please open the temple. And temple inside a lot of that and this, that. And Maharaj starting to crying to see this. Then Maharaj asking, that time also Premanand Baba also there. He was also there, Gopinath, Prasant Bhai. Then all Maharaj calling, come, all to near. Tell me, how can I do this thing, this place? Then I'm also there. I'm also going to as a pujari. Then I tell to Maharaj, don't worry, first we have to clean up our deities. Then we start to kirtan and nagar parikrama. It's not whole village. Then people will understand that this family, this king family, they are coming to here and they want to now to have a seva input. Then we are staying 1 week there. And every day Lord Kirtan, Parikrama, and Maharaj also speaking, and Maharaj also calling this main village people. And they are also very respect, like Raja Babu. They till now calling not Sadhu Maharaj, not Ananta Prasad, Raja Babu. That is the respect of in India, So Raja Babu. King, yeah. Raja Babu. And Raja Babu calling, all coming. Then we slowly, now you see Jamdaha is like. And then, after that happened gone, second time, third time, and fourth time, I sending to my cousin brother. He's the pujari of Nitai. Then I say, he doesn't like to go. He like to stay in Vrindavan. He said, no, I will not. Then I say, okay, you go. make something, 2-3 months, then you come back. It will be Maharaj also will be happy because Maharaj very love us. It will be, we also can make a little bit happy to him. You go. It's good for us also to stay in this Munger Mandir, to little bit make him happy. Then he going and then we say, okay, stay 1 month more, 2 months more. Now he's 40 years or 5 years. Now, and I ask him sometime, time to time, Maharaj, how is it? Maharaj is really happy. And also, some you see all of you to this, sometime coming to Patik Pavan picture and how growing. That is also Sadhu Maharaj's desire. To have beautiful Radha Patik Pavan, Radha Govinda's murti, so nice. Now Patik Pavan also happy. Gaura Chandra they are, of course. Many devotees, many Western devotees going and...
Yes, I remember going to Jamdha when I was... from Munger we went, there was no electric there. No electric.
Still
not in electric morning going and I'm coming night time.
When I was there 8 years before, also no electric.
So we went by car, and that time I remember we took a jeep. So we had to cross this river. Because there was no bridge and only jeep can cross that, not even cars.
But it's a peaceful place.
Oh,
Peaceful.
I really had the best time.
Touching heart, yeah. Touching, because of lot of hills, lot of forest there around.
But now they have made more houses. But before, it was all empty. It's like a village, you know. Just, yeah.
Twice a day, a car is driving through and finished.
Not even car.
Maharaj, also I am telling sorry, I also tell Sadhu Maharaj, 2 things he liked very much. One side he doing to his Sarup Siddhi Sadhana, totally another way. And one side he liked to all this temple of his families, to nice seva, nice pujari, nice cleaning, Thakurji happy. That is also coming from blessing to his family. The 2 sides he is very also strong. One side his sadhana, he live very nicely, he keep. That is the another way. And other side you see, always he calling to Munger, asking to this Mahaprabhu Pujari.
Third thing is caring so much for us.
Of course, that's why to this he carrying the sadhana side, all of you. Please do to this sadhana, this, that, of course.
Wow.
So beautiful.
And he also teaching to now all of his disciples, also his son, daughter, how to Guru, Vaishnav and Thakur Seva.
I feel that he is more close to all his devotees than to his kids.
No, I feel this. He actually loves so much his devotees. That's clear.
Yeah.
And how does this feel like? How is it for you when you feel like that, or when you see like
That is kind of glorious, no? Kind of happiness in it.
It's like a family.
Because we choose him by decision, but you you got him as a present, as a father. Let's say, joking.
But on the other hand, he's so focused on all of you, and constantly it's only about all of you.
Yeah,
we feel actually sometimes opposite, that he loves you more than us.
Who?
Gurudev, because we see him how he's talking to us, how he's worried, and not only worried, he's so much in action for all of you. So, this closeness that you feel actually coming from Radha Mohan, because we belong to this Radha Mohan family. So, this is spiritual connection.
Yes.
So,
I honestly, I love Sadhu Maharaj, and he's my father, everything is there. I was, like I said, growing up, I was very close to my grandfather. And then I was sent to boarding school. after boarding school, I spent some time in the holidays with him, and then I went to US.
Yeah. Last time.
When I got close to him when he came for my graduation in '95. He was there with me almost 6 months.
Da war 6 Monate mit mir.
So thank God I learned cooking, so I used to cook for him. And he likes this, he loves corn.
liebt Mais.
He loves peas.
Und liebt Erbsen.
So I used to make peas, corn.
Die Erbsen und Mais machen. Paratha.
No, I don't know how to make paratha. I used to buy those frozen ones.
Ich habe einfach die gekauft.
Because that's what I used to get.
Ja, das war normal.
Yeah, and he used to like bagel, so every morning he used to go to this coffee shop with a bagel, with cream cheese. He used to love sesame bagel, a lot of cream cheese.
When we were staying with you, one night, Sadhu Maharaj said to Govinda Priya and I, we have been on one tour, and we met Raj in America, and we were with Gurudev 10 days, 2 weeks on tour. And one evening, Sadhu Maharaj, we were sitting outside the Legacy Inn, very comfortably talking nicely, and then Sadhu Maharaj said, "Let's go for a coffee." He knows a coffee shop. It was 8 o'clock, something like that, 8:30 in the evening. And I was like, "No problem, let's go." And then he said, "Govinda, you drive." And Govinda Priya, we had a rental car, and we went on the tour, and it was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I thought I was thinking, Gurudev forgot the address, you know, and it was going a long time, you know. But then at one time, and then he said, "Turn right." And we were straight in front of the Starbucks. Straight in front of the Starbucks. Maybe Westburg or something. I don't know.
Other direction.
Very far away, you know. 20 minutes, 100%. But he knew exactly where we were. And then we went in, and he knew everyone. He went there in the saffron cloth. He ordered one latte or whatever, you know. It was so funny. Yes.
So, what I was going to say. So when Sadhu Maharaj came
Sadhu Maharaj gekommen ist, diese 6 Monate nach Amerika.
to US one time, which year was this? Before, it was, I don't remember which year, but I used to tell him, you cannot wear this saffron thing here.
Ich habe ihm auch gesagt, hey, du kannst
because people they're wondering what he is doing. So one time I bought him some jeans and some tracks.
Und dann habe ich ihm Jeans gekauft.
We saw the picture.
I know the picture.
We saw the box. Remember in this one room in the Legacy Inn? There was the clothes of Sadhu Maharaj.
Yeah, so I bought him because I don't want people to think, over there, because they don't understand it's a small town.
Es ist so ein kleines Dorf.
So I got him some
normal clothes.
normal clothes. So
ich habe ihm einfach
Jeans
gekauft von Polo.
Yeah.
I remember Raj finding this box in the house, and I met Gurudev as Gurudev. And not even at that time I didn't think about his children and his wife. And when I came to this room, there was this box that was written Papa on it. And I felt so touched, you know, seeing the jeans and the t-shirts and
sweater.
And Prashant was, no, Priyesh was coming and he said, Papa, what would you like? And I said, wow, this is something really new for me, special. Your relationship with him, also yours.
Das war super für mich, dass ich das erste Mal das mitbekommen habe, wie ihre Söhne.
So I was talking about 95 when he was staying with me. So that's the time I got more close to him. I used to take him, I showed him the school, college I went to, drove for 8-9 hours from New York. So I asked him, I was feeling bad, so I asked him to drive. That time he had not taken sannyas, Even though he didn't have a US driver license to drive. So it was a good trip together that time. And then 96 he took sannyas. I got close to him and then suddenly... Sorry?
Like he's translating.
Sorry.
Can I ask you, do you feel that you lose your father this
Hast du
time?
das Gefühl, dass du deinen Vater verloren hast?
No.
Nein.
You have a father and he is sannyas.
Sadhu. Father and Sadhu, right?
I don't
Sadhu
feel.
Baba.
He must have taken sannyas. That time when he took a sannyas, it was like I said, it was, he's going to detach with everyone.
Das war damals nur im ersten Moment, als er Sannyas genommen hat. Oh, nein, jetzt will ich ihn verlieren.
We are there.
Aber
He's
jetzt
there for us.
ist für uns da, wir sind für ihn da.
Because he always says that he's not seeing them as seminal children. He sees them as spiritual souls. He sees them as your God brothers. He sees the mother as your mother. He told me many times he sees as God's sister. So he has a completely different view.
Hat ganz andere Gefühle.
I like this so much. Remember when the hurricane was coming and we had to move from the legacy. We went to Albany to the place of Priyesh and we could sleep in the apartment with Mataji Raj. Gurudev was in one room, Govinda Priya in the other room. It was a wonderful and familiar feeling. Sadhu Maharaj was so nice to Raj, so nice to Maharaja. It was not like now sannyasi is staying in the house. It was beautiful. I remember this evening very well. We were looking at the news because we all feared the hurricane would come.
Buying candles.
Yes, buying
water, like Americans do. Something, a hurricane or some kind of a thing is happening, they will go and
cancelling the program.
They will go and empty the store. Does it happen here also?
No.
We don't have one.
No.
But they get panic,
Very loving exchange it was.
Yeah.
Very loving.
Yeah, I remember also Gurudev is always saying that Mataji, for example, she has such a close connection to Radha Mohan. How he can say that she cannot come anymore to the temple? It would be impossible. So he has to see them as soul, and they also want to get closer to Radha Mohan. So he has to help everyone also. No exclusion.
For me, this was a great honor that she allowed me to cook in her kitchen. Wow. I met her and she was. I thought, wow, she's very strict and very strong,
She is strict.
She's very strict.
So viele Regeln und so.
Then she said, you can.
Und dann hat sie gesagt,
come on, cook something. I should have lasagna, something like that.
I'll tell you, my mother is a very sweet person. Being an elder son, she is very soft-hearted. Living in America with us, never had any problem. My wife, she stayed with us. My wife didn't speak Hindi, so she spoke English. If she would have spoken Hindi, then maybe. But we never had a problem.
That's why not
But she can, from the outside, she can look very strong, stern.
Yeah.
But when you meet her, you see.
Imagine she was the household of Munger. Being an elder son's wife, taking care of the house, taking care of all the servants in the house.
Really heavy, yeah.
So she was very heavy, and that thing is in her. So when she went back from US, that thing she still carries, that from the past. So she can be very strict, like you can see her screaming and all that stuff. And I have sometimes to talk to her to calm down.
Komm mal runter. Du kannst sie nicht so herumkommentieren.
But now she's in Mungir, every Arati she's there.
Und jetzt kannst du sehen, dass
And it's so hot now.
bei der Arati.
And she said, I don't know what she said. I said, oh my God, dear mother, it's so hot. And she said, and you know, I'm 70, I don't know what she said, 70 something old year.
68, 69.
Yeah, but she said 70 like that. And I used to be in US climate. But you see now, like, I just don't feel like, I feel like it's hot, but I feel so much grace that I'm here in Vrindavan. I was so moved, really. She's just like sitting even half hour before Arati, doing her japam and meditation, and after also, really. And I saw her when we were in US, like she used to write, like the name of Ram, like whole, how do you say heft?
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Krishna Krishna.
Booklet, like everything.
This, a diary type.
Yeah.
And she
For hours she's writing.
Yes.
Just like, oh, Ram. And I was like, wow.
Mantra.
Yeah. And in the morning also there in US, like puja, like I don't know how long. Like with
Puja gemacht in Amerika.
Yeah, amazing.
Alles war so erstaunlich.
She's a very soft person. People who see her very tough, strong, but she's very loving.
Yes.
Maybe she doesn't know how to show it.
She can. Sometimes she does.
Manchmal weiß sie nicht, wie sie es teilen kann, aber meistens schafft es.
We love her very much.
Even Sadhu Maharaj can be tough on her.
Yes, we can be tough on everybody, no?
This is the truth. The mercy of
I think the older he's getting, I think he's getting more. Like when you're young, you're a baby, and the older you get, it becomes a baby kind of thing. It's a cycle. I think that's what I feel.
I have maybe some personal question. You mind me asking?
Persönliche Frage an dich. Darf ich sie stellen?
Like here in the Western culture, we have religious people, right, from the Christian background. And sometimes we see that when the parents are very religious and they have a special faith with their Thakurji, with their Jesus or whatever, then the children, they get a little bit turned off from that. And they will go like completely different way. Right? Because the parents maybe were so religious and they don't want to follow it anymore. So I was sometimes reflecting on the whole family, and there's two questions always in my mind, that you have such a spiritual backgrounded family. Not you only, but all your sister, brother. No? Did you also kind of like find your own new way of life, trying to how do you feel with your spiritual development as a soul with that, in this regard? Because your parents, they give you such a big treasure, and I feel always they also have some hopes for you. At the same time, you are your own personalities, you want to go your own life. How do you feel about that as a person?
Very good question.
It's also pressure, no?
Well, growing up, we have seen this whole having puja in our house, having people coming from Vrindavan, giving the Bhagavad Katha, And I was also sitting there and listening. And there was a Ram Navami Katha also going on there. All kind of things every year, something or the other. So I grew up in seeing all this, So being in a Western world, when you go there and you start your life, but inside is still there. And now I'm fighting with this sometime inside me to go back to Eastern world. How? What should I do? What to do?
How will it happen? How should it be?
Right.
To keep
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your old feelings come up again. First you made your own life, and now you see, and now actually this is also attracting me.
Yes. And I'm fighting with it to come out with it. What is right for me?
Was ist jetzt das Wichtige für mich? America or India?
So you are again like the small boy sitting on the steps of Radha, right?
So jetzt fühlst du dich wieder wie der Junge an.
Calling me.
Jetzt berufen bin daran. Ja, jetzt.
Back to the roots.
Sometimes I think maybe he wanted me to have this kind of being a single.
Vielleicht wollte dass ich.
Before I was married, I couldn't do all. I couldn't have gone back, have a family, kids there. I mean, all these things I think, and I wonder why all this thing is happening. I sold my place. I'm fighting with that also inside. Did I do the right thing? Something is happening.
Ich merke auf jeden Fall, irgendwas passiert. Irgendwas passiert und ich weiß noch nicht genau was.
Funny thing is when Sadhu Maharaj is telling that you come now, and then we say, the disciples sometimes say, oh, we miss you, we miss you. And he says, look into Raja's eyes, there I am. He's got the same soft heart like me, right, Brother Shari? That's what's happening then. Yeah. So I'm always amazed.
Honestly, I'm fighting with all this. Last year I came. It was a wonderful trip. I went to Vrindavan, went back to US, then came to Europe. And when I went back, I didn't like it.
It was like adjustment problems.
Where?
Big time.
In America?
Last year when he came.
I really had a good time here in Europe with all the devotees. Everyone,
So you're in between three worlds, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, when I went back, I started feeling this is not for me. This place is not for me.
But now your kids are not grown up, and then when they're grown up, then you will see it. Huh?
I feel this, and I'm fighting with this inside me. What is good for me? Because I was never been dependent, and I always worked. So sometimes I wonder what I will do in India. I don't want to be dependent. In India, when I go, I become dependent. If I have to go somewhere, I have to get a taxi or get a driver somewhere to go somewhere. In US, I can start my car and go whenever you want.
You can get a car in India, man.
I won't be able to drive. I drove in Vrindavan.
Prashant will teach you.
Sridhar can drive you.
Sridhar can drive. I mean...
No, I understand.
I also can
After a while, yeah.
Maybe I feel like it's like discovering a new family, you know? Discovering a new belonging, discovering new feelings, and like for all of us, when I go to Vrindavan, also I feel, what am I supposed to be here? You know, okay, I save some money so I can go there by blessings of Radhika and Maha. It happens, but then if I stay and I want to stay longer, how will it be possible? Because I have also these two lives, and many devotees of all of us, we have these two lives. And I think we are in a somewhat also similar situation, that we have these two hearts, you know, we have some life here, we have family here, and we have also our life there. We want to be, you know, fully surrendered to the desire of Radha Mahan, and we want to reach the goal of this love, that is eternal love, you know, and we are all struggling in between this, so how to manage, and then at the same time we feel it must happen through the mercy, you know, I cannot arrange.
At least you guys are in halfway. Halfway, whenever you feel like feeling something, let's go to it, Vrindavan.
But I also think, if I may honestly say, I don't really think that it is a geographical thing. I think it's more important for my life, I realize, to have a balance. I must feel at home the same, like you cannot feel the same like in Vrindavan, because living in the Dham, everybody knows, is the highest and the best. But for myself, I'm now also getting 50, so I don't see it like I am struggling here, I don't like it here, this I don't want. We have a nice home, you know, I have both. I want to be comfortable in both. So I have to arrange myself in the Western world so that it is similar, like living in Vrindavan. So that means you can build your home, you can build your situation, your little ashram at home, similarly like in Vrindavan. Doing the same in the morning, bhajan. I would do also the same in Vrindavan. It is not the highest. The energy is not the same, okay. But Krishna is not, Vrindavan is not like you have to go to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is also a state of mind and a state of heart. So if you can arrange it, that it is not such a... I know exactly what to talk about. I also had that feeling earlier, but when you go home from Vrindavan, you fall down in a huge... This discrepancy between both places, Western world and Vrindavan, spiritual world and material world, it cannot be that when I fly back from Vrindavan that I think, oh crap, now I have to go again in my old stupid life and all this. This I don't like. So I have to adjust my stupid old life, that it is nice and that you can have a balance. That when you come back from Vrindavan, it's not like you go into a strange land, you know, so that you have your dakuchi at home, you have your bhajan at home, your Gurudev is with you. One time I even asked Baba, I asked him, is it really necessary to live in Vrindavan all the time? And I have the video on YouTube. He says no. It is a question of consciousness. You can also attain city in the Western world. You can. It's easier there, but maybe not for everyone. So this point is this struggle between both places has to become one. That you feel at home as spiritual, as nice as there. It's not easy, but this is what helps. This is how I feel it, you know. To arrange the home like that Krishna is there. That is also there. Okay, in Vrindavan I don't watch a movie.
It depends upon a partner too.
Yes.
Sure. Okay, if your partner is there and willing to support you and you feel happy about this, then you can create that atmosphere where you're living as your home and everything.
It's not only the place, it's the relationships where you have there.
But also you need, what comes into play is honesty. I feel in my situation, I can never see myself. Right now, I cannot see myself like 6 weeks, 2-3 months without. I could not do it. I'm very honest because I like also the Western world. I like to watch a movie now and then. I like to listen to some music now and then. So if I would force myself to live 2-3 years in the town and say like I was in Eastbourne and I went to Eastbourne, I gave away everything. I gave my CDs away, I gave my records away, I gave everything away, and I said, now I'm spiritual. And what happened? It backfired. It will backfire. So when you are not honest, and you go to Vrindavan and you live for 6 months there, or you live 1 year there, I could not do this. I would go crazy, honestly. So better is to build to that point, where you can say, I can go both places. I can stay 6 months here and 2 months in Vrindavan when you're retired, and maybe live there and give up their body there. But this should not be such a
artificial.
Very good idea. Very good idea. Because of for here, your idea is very nice there. Because we are grow up there, we manage. But is in for Western, it's good balance this kind of.
I saw too many people doing that stuff.
No,
go there and go crazy.
Like I also telling many, of course, depend on.
You need the
Adhikar and also ready for this. That, but some also holding. But this is right. They need to Adhikar.
In my mind, also say, oh, it's pulling me there, but can I live there? You know, being in India, even though I grew up there. Maybe a couple of months, 3-4 months. Sorry?
Have you been in the US now like 30 years or something?
Yes. So it can be tough.
It can be tough. Otherwise we all would be there all the time.
But the best time to be in Kartik, winter time, is good.
Yeah. And
February, March, Holi is the best.
Raja, you said once, I don't know if you remember, when we were speaking a few years ago, and you said, I don't know if this happened after you took the initiation from Radha Govinda Babaji, but you were saying that when you were a child in Vrindavan and living there, that you have like so naturally that you always felt Radha Krishna, that you could see them. And then when you went to US, it stopped. This flow stopped. So can you say this? That was for me like so. I was so amazed to hear that. Because even for so many, when they're coming after 10 years, 15, they didn't have this realization of Radha Krishna. So can you say something?
Because when I was in Vrindavan and watching this Rasa Leela, the story, the drama of Krishna and the whole. So I got so close, like I felt like they're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the ISKCON temple, they used to give those painting books. And I used to love those books, doing making colors. And I feel that I was very close to Krishna than Radha, I'll be honest. Because I didn't know that time. I only see Krishna. You know?
But it's beautiful.
Like Krishna going in the forest with the cows and
beautiful.
That's how I felt.
Even Gurudev is telling, you can see Krishna with the flute and going with the cows, like with his eyes. You remember when he's telling this in the lectures, like you can see them with his eyes.
And
I don't
know this. I was talking to someone the other day. There's a serial Radha Krishna serial going on.
Es gibt so eine Serie von Radha Krishna.
If you watch that serial, it will tell you about Vrindavan. How Vrindavan was created by Krishna. Just for Radha.
für Radical.
I didn't know. When I watched that serial, I was like,
Wie ich
wow.
diese Serie gesehen habe, wow.
And how Vrindavan was, the flowers, the smell,
Blumen,
you know.
Geruch. So schön.
And there is something, maybe when that land was bought, there was in the past in Munger Mandir that told there is something there. I feel this. I don't know about you guys, but I feel there is something.
Ich fühle das in Munger Mandir, da gibt es was Spezielles.
Maybe Krishna used to come there with the cows, or did some lila there, I don't know. Some good spots in Vrindavan, you know, some places.
Da gibt es so viele Treffpunkte. Vielleicht ist Munger Mandir genau in so einem Spot.
Because watching this serial makes me think now, oh, could be.
Wenn ich diese Serie gesehen habe, ja, das kann nicht sein.
Have you seen the serial?
Yes. Gurudev showed to us once.
I just started watching in US and I was impressed.
Yeah, when I was there in Vrindavan, I think this winter, or last year, I don't know, but Mataji, they always met to look at the new series. And then
want to know
Gurudev,
what's next.
and then Gurudev said that, wow, yesterday was such a nice series, they told me, and we have to take a look at it. And then we looked and he explained what is happening. It was very nice there. Some devotee, he was a Krishna devotee, and
Everybody has the ringing.
and he didn't believe why Krishna is worshipping to Radha, and he wanted to show that Radhika is misleading Krishna. He wanted to prove. But then through the movie you could see that finally he also got to know that why Radhika is such a great devotee and why Krishna is loving her so much. That was very nice.
Yeah, they will make you cry, huh? This series, everybody's crying.
I mean, undoubtedly, when you come out of the holy Dharma, undoubtedly the pull is a little bit. Everyone can feel the pull is. Maya is strong. That's 100% sure when you leave the Dharma. Everyone feels that something is going a little bit away. You know? But you can also, when you are strong with the Kripa of Gurudev,
Nilamri went to Vrindavan. Look at Nilamri. She was there just for a tour.
Nepal. You came as a tourist, my God.
And stayed and met Balaram. Not even Krishna can hide Balaram.
But Maharaja, he went first time to Vrindavan to check what his small brother is doing.
Yes.
To check out what he's doing. That's right.
Maharaja came because he was so worried. He said that I'm in some sect and he has to check they're not treating me bad.
But it's in the same.
Even I heard the story about Raipriya. The bus stopped right there and she entered Munger Mandir and then she ended up in Jamdal.
When I was in Jamdal, she with me.
Oh.
She was 17, huh?
Yeah.
Very young teenage.
Yeah. And she don't know. She of course, the first time, but she and she going to Jamdal. She staying 1 week with us. Even also very high fever, but everything.
But can I tell you, what I feel, not all Western people can do something like it. has to come from here, the feelings.
Yes.
That thing only can change or attract you to do something like this. Otherwise, it's very tough for a Western culture adopting this and knowing something new. It's not
living
easy.
it and also living
Right.
Living it.
It has to come from the feeling.
Yeah. You cannot do it by pressure.
Like Nilamri had some feeling. I don't know what happened to her. I was there that year.
Yeah.
I met her that year. I was like, wow, shocked.
Shocked.
It was Christmas time.
Christmas time, yeah. Her friends came, they all went to Goa.
They went
She
there.
stayed.
We were there also.
Yeah, you have been there also.
I asked her, what are you doing? Something with Mont Blanc, right?
That
Mont
was,
Blanc.
Yeah. And I said, wow, she will stay. You will stay. Gurudev has this power.
And then she went home and back again.
Yeah.
Like for some weeks or how long again?
Yeah, 2 months, 1 or 2 months.
And then she came back again.
And then she went for a long trip for 3-4 months to all Asia. By herself, I was
Shocked.
Yeah, Gurudev is always telling I ran away, and I say, no, it's not running away, but I feel like it was some kind of digestion.
This time when I was coming here, so I'm driving, coming to JFK airport, my daughter calls me. So, Papa, you know that my son, his name is Anand, he's graduating in end of almost in 21st. I said, oh my God. And then I was like thinking to cancel my ticket, go back, because it's only 2-3 weeks. My plan was to stay here longer, to go to Love Festival, and I didn't know what I was doing after that, going back to US or to Vrindavan. Anyway, so I was feeling really bad about my son graduating, and it's a big thing in US, graduation from high school or college. So I remember when I was graduating, I told Prashant or my mother that if Sadhu Maharaj doesn't come for my graduation, I'm not going to talk to him. Because living there, I saw all this, it was a big thing, so for me it was also a big thing.
Yeah.
It is big thing.
Huh?
It is big thing.
It is a big thing.
So we are also going for 2-3 weeks to Vrindavan, and it is still worth a lot. So you will stay here for 2-3 weeks. That's why I'm very happy that we not cancel.
Yeah. It's a good time.
It's a good thing I came and I'm meeting everyone here. And I hope this Mela goes every year so we can all meet.
If you come,
Yeah,
you come every year.
sure. It's our family here.
Wow, Jayo.
Yeah, I'm surprised Karuna Maya and they should also have come.
Yeah.
I mean, they're also a part of the family, So maybe next year will be more organized. It's the first time Kalindi has organized this, but beautiful place.
Yeah, it was very short time for everyone. Means
But-
many they had some
But if we
obligations.
can do this, and it's good to meet.
Yes, thank you.
At least once a year, we can all get together and meet everyone. Everyone is living far. It would be nice. Next year. So everyone was saying Kalindi Mela. So what? Kalindi?
Prem Mela.
So Now when I arrived here, then it's called Prem Mela. Yeah, last year I was in Karuna, Mai's place.
Yeah.
But here now more people.
More place also.
More bigger place, yeah.
And here also all together, you know?
Yeah.
There we were in some apartments.
Right, here everyone is together and
We won't take rest with kids.
More comfortable.
No, it's really nice, really.
yeah.
Thank you for kindly.
Really.
It's such a precious time. I really think this.
Thank you for coming.
Well organized.
How can I do my seva without you? If I organize and no one is coming.
Yes.
And Shamal did a good job.
And Suniti.
Suniti, yeah. She came all the way from
I didn't even
Germany.
know how to come the last day, only by your mercy and Madhuri and Premanuri. They picked me up, otherwise I was hopeless.
Upstairs have many rooms.
Many rooms, yeah.
You
And,
fit is up to 80 persons fitting.
Wow. And this view and a very perfect place.
Good.
If next year also if before you can
ask him to get the house. Yeah, sure. If you all come.
I think it will be slowly improve to every year.
Thank you so much, Rabbi.
Thank you for inviting me. I remember the date by 7-Eleven. When 7-Eleven is a store in America. So Kalindi, I was talking to her, I said the program is going to be on from 7 to 11.
So you remember the dates?
Yeah. Radha Shakti was in Vrindavan, so she was asking me, you have to come, don't worry, just come. And then I went to on my phone and I started looking for a ticket. She said, come to Vienna.
Or to Switzerland.
And or go to Zurich. So I said, Vienna is far. I said, go straight to Kalindi's place and then go to the Mela from there. So then I booked my ticket and I sent the information to Kalindi. Radhe Radhe Go.